How y'all doing today?
Good.
Beautiful day out there today, right?
Yeah, the nature of a special teams coordinator is you're never going to get as much work as you'd probably like, but how happy are you with the amount of time and then making sure they're putting the cameras down so no one's seeing all the top secret stuff y'all are doing?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I thought today was one of our better days as far as special teams goes. Obviously, the first couple of days was mild tempo for special teams. We tried to control it just to work the guys in, right? They just came off of a month break, so you don't want to just press the gas right now and have a whole bunch of injuries. So, we tried to start off slow, and I think today was a little bit more competitive as far as that goes.
What are you seeing out of your punters?
Out of the punters, I'm seeing excellent direction. I'm seeing excellent hang. I actually just went and watched the practice up there. They're doing a good job getting the ball to the numbers and outside the numbers, and that's where we want the ball to be. And obviously, they're doing a good job with the hang time. The more hang we have, the guys have the ability to get down the field and make plays on the ball, and that's what we want to do.
What's unique about a lefty punter?
Just the spin. I mean, the spin the ball is gonna spin differently, and it's gonna cause problems for the returner to handle it. Obviously, guys are starting to become better at a left-footed punter because guys are bringing left-footed punters in camp, and they're putting a jug machine on left-footed punters and things of that sort. So they're getting the practice of it, but it's still difficult coming off of a live foot.
Is punter a wide open competition right now?
Is that a trick question right there?
No, I'm curious where you
I
stand.
mean, if we have two punters, obviously there's competition involved, right? And for me personally, I always thought that we should have 6 specialists in camp so that everybody's competing and nobody says that I have a job and I've made it. When you put pressure on guys, that's when you get the best out of guys, and that's what we're looking for. We're trying to, and I'll say this again, we're trying to build a standard and a culture around here, and that the specialist is part of that standard and culture.
There's a lot of music.
With a punt returner, how do you evaluate kind of the necessary calmness or not having the moment be too big for them when they're in the stadium? And do you see that from a guy like Montrell?
Yeah, so first and foremost, like I mentioned, when the coaches caught the ball off the jugs, if you can't catch the ball off the jugs, then there's an issue. Montrell has come out here. He's done a great job as far as body position, as far as catching mechanics. Montrell is a hard worker. He's humble, but he's confident. And he's confident in his ability, and so am I. I've been pleasantly pleased with how Montrell's handled it. Now, playing in a stadium, playing in front of a crowd is a lot different than a training camp right here. So when he enters the stadium, he should be the first on the field to catch the punts off a live foot. When we go to preseason, when we go to the regular season, things of that sort, then you'll have a better gauge on what Montrell can do once we get to the preseason or once we get to a competitive period out here where we're actually tackling or something of that sort. Right now, we're just running by tag. He should be as confident as he can be because nobody's going to hit him in this type of setting.
Are there guys that can do that here and then they can't do it when it?
I mean, it's rare, because generally you get a guy that's come from college, so he's had years of practice, and now he's coming out here. And for me, if they're struggling, then I prefer not to put them back there because a turnover is detrimental to our team winning games.
What coverage teams do you need to see it in pads and then in the game?
100%. Right now we're running around with shorts and t-shirt. Everybody looks good, right? Once we put the pads on, now you can see what guys are shying away from contact, or which guys go towards contact, which guys play with good body position, things of that sort. So I'm actually, I've always learned not to ride the emotional roller coaster and get too high or get too low. I've been trying to be even kill, although I lose my mind sometimes. But once we put pads on, we'll have a better idea of what we have. But you can see guys strain. You can see guys punch and things of that sort with shorts on. But it'll be better with pads.
Would they have the courage to not hit and be physical with you as their special teams
You'd be
coach?
surprised. You'd be surprised. Coaching 15 years in this league, we've had some guys that once the pads come on, so it's a different ball game. It's grown men out there, right? You have some guys that are younger. They're not as strong as some of these other veterans and things of that sort. So once they see a big guy like AP or Wade or whomever, Cooper, it's a little different punch than college.
There are a guy like Jonas Griffith, coach. He originally was here because he was a good special teamer. Now he's playing inside linebacker quite a bit. Is that you gonna have to fight for him, or?
You be sad right now when I go back to my office. I'm disappointed about that. I'm happy for the kid.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid works his butt off. So I'm happy and I'm pleased for the kid. But selfishly, I would love for him to be on all 4 phases. And I'm not saying that he's not going to be, because there's still evaluation process going on throughout training camp. But that's a tough one. That absolutely is a tough one. And we're going to try to incorporate him when we can. We're going to try to put him on the phases that we can. All of this is continual communication between myself, the Coach Hackett, Coach Evero. I just need to know what the defensive plan is from, and then we can have a plan for the special teams.
Isn't that the biggest challenge special teams coordinators have is they lose as the season goes on, their special team studs end up playing.
Correct. And again, when you have a guy like that, you're pulling for him, right? Because you know his body of work prior to this year. And then you have injuries occur and things of that sort. So guys, it's a fluid type situation on special teams. Generally, the same punt team you start with at the beginning of the year, you don't have at the end of the year. Same kickoff team you start with at the beginning of the year, you don't have it. And we went through a lot of changes in LA when I was there as well. So, like I said, hopefully Jonah can handle defense and play special teams. But again, I'm happy for the kid, whatever his role is on our team, because I know he's going to make us better.
There's a lot of music at practice, except during special teams periods. Is that your call, and why do you like it a little quieter?
I mean, it was more so myself and Coach Hackett talked about it briefly, and he asked me, would you want music during special teams period? I prefer not to, because I want to hear our guys communicate. Obviously, the stadium's going to be loud and things of that sort, but implementing a new system, having new guys communicating different things so that they don't go back to the past, I would prefer not to have music at this point. It could change, maybe next year or something like that, but right now, the focus should be football. They can jam out and dance and all that type of stuff when defense is going versus offense. When we're playing special teams, because we have limited reps, we need to lock in and get our work done.
In a broad sense, what would define success for your returners this year?
I mean, that's a tough question because I have high expectations for him, right? I never go into the year saying, hopefully we get 5 yards of return. Hopefully we just catch the ball safely and give it back to the offense. No, I want to score. Like, I want our guys to have the confidence in the guys who are blocking for him to say, you know what, every time I catch this ball, I have the opportunity to score. So when we have a meeting prior to the season, there will be laid out goals for the punt return team, whether it's blocking a punt, whether it's returning some for touchdowns. But just know the standard is high. It's not going to be, let's just get a first down for the offense. We want to flip field position for the offense. And I'm confident in the guys that we have and the blockers in front of them that we can do that. I really am.
Edgerro is talking about spending more time scripting and all of that, and Hackett, obviously, first-time head coach. What has that communication process been like with the other coordinators and Nathaniel in terms of reps, figuring out where guys fit on special teams and all that?
I mean, obviously, myself or Coach Mal will go down to the defense and the offense and get a depth chart. So then we try to base our reps off of depth chart. Obviously, you see, the starting receivers aren't going to get reps on special teams. Starting running backs aren't going to get reps on special teams. So then we try to figure out how many reps the second team guys and the third team guys are going to get. And then I try to tell those guys, and this is no disrespect to them, but if you're not starting on offense and defense, where's the next place to start at? Special teams. It should be important to you if you're trying to win a job. There's only 11 guys starting on offense. There's only 11 guys starting on defense. We have 11 stars on special teams also. I really want to get this point across. Special teams is just as important as offense and defense if we want to win games.